Good afternoon, Mainline Parent. This is Pamela Battalato, and I am here today with my coworker, Beth, and we are here with Jenna Greenspoon from Kidas, and we are going to be chatting with you today about online gaming safety for your children. One sec, I just want to stop my screen share. There we go. So we have been sharing a little bit about Kidas with our readers over the last couple of weeks with a nice sponsored story that Beth wrote for us, as well as some posts on Facebook, and you may have seen their email newsletter spotlights. Kidas has created a software for online PC gaming to help protect our children, and Jenna is here to tell us more about that, and we're going to learn about how easy it is to use and what additional features their software has for parents. Jenna, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about Kidas and where the idea came from.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kidas is essentially gaming's safest privacy and protection for your families and or child's PC. So the software is meant to monitor your child's in-game communication, so that's both voice and text, in order to send alerts to parents if the child is exposed to any types of threats. Now, these threats can be anything from cyberbullying to an online predator attack, and we'll go into what those threats look like a little bit later and what some examples of are those. But Kidas was started a few years ago by our founder and CEO, Ron Kurbs, who was a gamer himself. And as we are moving into a very, much more digital heavy space, our children are online all the time, I would say daily for most children. And gaming has become not only what we were used to as kids, where you just, it's entertainment and you go and you play your video game and you're done. It's become a way for kids to interact with one another and socialize. And with that comes a lot of risks. And so he felt that, there was this risk, especially for younger children who are online, they start much younger and then they're online much longer, to help prevent and help parents monitor and engage and keep the conversation open with their children to ensure that they're as safe as they can be online.
Such a good point too about the kids being online earlier and spending so much more time on it. The software came out just shortly before the pandemic hit, and I know even at our house, even my littlest one, who hadn't had any kind of social media or gaming before that, became much more interested and was allowed to do things much earlier than her siblings because it was their best option for being social while everybody was stuck home. So I think that that's an important point to make, that kids are getting on these games or other social media earlier just because they needed it as an important outlet for interaction.
So Jenna, now that our kids are on multiplayer games where they're out online, can you tell us what kinds of things do we need to protect our kids from now that they're online and online a lot more?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it that might be happening that we should be concerned about?
For sure. So, parents before their kids were online were concerned about bullying, and it's, been a big thing in schools to have, an anti-bullying policy. And now your kids used to be able to leave school and go home and they had a safe space where they didn't have to worry about that happening. And you as a parent also didn't have to worry about that happening. Whereas now cyberbullying online is, a really big problem. It's much easier for other people because of, the fact that they're hidden behind a screen to bully other people, whether it's people that they know or people that they don't know. Kids can be bullied by people that they see at school on a daily basis, the same as they can be bullied by people that they don't know online. So cyberbullying is something that we definitely, monitor for, and something that parents should be aware of and concerned of, to talk to their kids about on a frequent basis. Outside of that, parents should be aware of the ability for a stranger to contact your child. And so that means that there's a lot more access to predators online, to scammers, to, there's people who are looking to, ruin your child's gaming experience by trolling, or, there are people who are threatening. So threats to cause harm, your children may be expressing threats to harm themselves on these games if they are being cyberbullied, or they're having other issues. Kids will team up on one another through these games. Scammers, hackers, tricking people online, clicking on links that are dangerous for both your own personal privacy as well as your computer safety. The list really does go on.
What about flagging things like sharing of personal information or passwords, or if somehow a kid is playing with someone they think is another kid, but they're actually some creepy adult who is asking questions that our children just don't know any better about not to answer?
Right. So that's where our software, ProtectMe, comes into play. And so there's different sort of areas that we monitor in, and what you're referring to are privacy violations. So that could be something like sharing your phone number, sharing your address, your social insurance number, or, like you say, just being asked questions for passwords, for, login information, anything of the sort. Those are things that are called privacy violations. And those are things that we would flag and alert parents about. And so you might receive alert that says your child was involved in a conversation where they talked about sharing their phone number. And so, that is a privacy violation. It's something to be concerned about. I think that within these multiplayer games, sometimes it might be an innocent thing where your child is sharing information with, like you say, someone who they think is their friend, but may not be, or they truly are playing with their friends and, are going to pass along information, but it's very easy for them to forget or not think about the fact that this information is being shared online. Many of these servers are public where they're having this communication. And so other people can, hear it, can mark down the information, and it does pose, quite a large privacy risk.
Definitely. Okay, I'm going to hit my screen share here while Beth asks you the next question.
So we wanted to ask about installation. Sometimes that can feel like a stop for parents, like, oh, is this going to be difficult? But I installed Kidas ProtectMe on my son's computer, and I found it was really quick and easy. So we wanted to share this video so people can kind of see for themselves how it's done.
And, on our end, it's really important that we get to what's most important as quickly as possible. And so, our team has worked hard to ensure that the installation process is quick and easy, and not very confusing. So when you sign up on our website, you'll be taken to a page where you put in your information, and then you'll receive an email. So that email was at the beginning of this video. It's very short, and it comes with an installation video, so you can see what's happening, as well as a serial number that you will need for the installation process. And then you'll go ahead to our installation page on our website. Once you get there, you will enter the email that you signed up with, as well as your child's name, your child's date of birth, so that we can verify their age to ensure that you get accurate reports. And then you'll click through next, next, next. If you have Roblox installed on the computer, it will ask you to log into your child's Roblox account so that you can connect the two. And then it's just a simple click of next, and you're done. It really takes, less than a minute. You just saw in that video, I couldn't even speak fast enough as it went along. And so, that's a really important thing for myself as a parent, and for other parents too. You've made this decision to put this software on your child's computer. And then, you don't want to get stuck halfway through or feel that it's, a super lengthy process that you have to find the time to then go ahead and do it. It really is quite a very, quick and easy process. And then once it's installed on your child's computer, one thing that I didn't mention is that the other thing you'll insert is a uninstallation password. And so that's a password that only you should know, that you will then need in order to uninstall the software. So if your child, decided, well, I don't want this on my computer, or your child didn't know about it and saw this software on their computer and thought, oh, I better delete that, I don't know what it is, you do need to enter a password in order to ensure that it's being deleted by the person who installed it. And so, that's an amazing thing. But it's pretty quick and very easy to do. And then once it's installed on your computer, it just runs silently in the background. A lot of kids are concerned that it will slow down their computer, or it will affect their gaming, which is something that we are very mindful of. And, I can tell you that it definitely does not do that, because we want children to play video games. We think it's really important for many different reasons. There's a ton of health benefits and cognitive benefits, as well as the social social implications and benefits that we've spoken about. And so this is just an addition to ensure that your children are safe while they're gaming online.
Jen, I noticed on the last couple seconds of the video that we just shared, it gave just a little pop-up of the different games that that the ProtectMe software kind of works with. And these look like the most popular games I hear my kids playing. But what I did notice on here was Discord, which I know is an app and website that some of the other protection software and apps out there doesn't cover. And I thought it was really important to note for our listeners and for our readers that it does work along with Discord, because I think a lot of teens use that and are having conversations that maybe aren't always appropriate. So do you have anything to add about any other apps or games that the ProtectMe software might cover that we wouldn't expect?
Yeah, so ProtectMe covers over 120 of gaming's most popular games, and when you're games and communication apps. And when you're on our website, you can see that we're very open to receiving feedback if there's a game that your child does play that's not part of our list. We're constantly updating the list to ensure that we cover all of the games that kids are playing. And so in terms of how Discord works, we monitor the communication that happens within these video games. And some, parents might think, oh, well, my child plays, X, Y, and Z, and there isn't communication in that game. So, my child plays Roblox and I know there's text communication, or versus a game that doesn't have communication. And just like you say, Discord is the app that many, many children, especially children who game, are using to communicate. And so they can play multiplayer games without having communication within the game and be able to use that app to communicate with one another, to create, different groups to be able to connect. And so while the game is running and Discord is running at the same time, we're able to monitor that form of communication.
One of our coworkers, Lori, had also mentioned that she liked that even if her child was using the Discord app on his phone or another platform, once that text chat was then open on the PC that had ProtectMe on it, it was able to monitor the conversations that were previously had, even if they weren't had on that device. So I thought that was a really great continuity effect, so that it wasn't like a kid could hop off the computer, have the conversation on the app via the phone or another system, and avoid being tracked by the protection software. And I thought that was a really good way of really ensuring that our kids are staying as safe as possible.
Yeah, and I think that one of the important things to note is that, like ProtectMe is not there to, rather, spy on your children, or, we're really there to provide the protection and the insights into what your children are doing while they're gaming, the types of communication they're having while they're gaming, to ensure that they're safe. So once Discord's on their computer and the games are running, then we're able to monitor the communication. Absolutely.
So Kidas is monitoring, and then at the end of the week, they're informing. So a parent then receives via email a report. So I wanted to screen share what a parent can expect these reports to look like.
So our reports, you can see here, we have our Kidas threat legend. That is 4 different levels. So green is nothing concerning. Yellow is one step above that. And so you've got orange and then green, red, and red is the, immediate action needed. Whereas, orange is a little bit less than that and yellow less than that. So when you get a nothing looks concerning report, obviously that's what every parent wants to hear. Everything looks great. But with that, there's a lot of insight that's provided into the report. So you can see right under nothing's concerning, you'll get the gaming time monitored by ProtectMe this week. So in this case, the child played for 10 hours and 14 minutes. And then as you move over and you look at the breakdown, it tells you, how much more or less time the child played from the previous week. The blue lines are in reference to how many hours that child spent gaming on those specific days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the yellow line shows where your child, how your child compares to the average of Kidas users. And so, it's a good sort of baseline, and it gives you some insight into what other gamers are doing and how they're spending their time and where your child fits in there. I personally like it so that I can see on the days that we've said, you have more gaming time or less gaming time, that timing is sort of being followed by my child. And then you'll also see the most played games that week. So we'll give you a breakdown of how much time they spent playing that week. So in this case, you can see Fortnite at the top, how much time they played, and then again, the time difference from week to week. And then each report will also include the threats that we are looking for. And so, that sort of gives you a reminder of, okay, good, there was nothing concerning this week. And what does that mean? It means there was, no exposure to flaming or threatening, et cetera, so that you have a good overall look and you're still gaining great insights. And then with every report that we send out, we also send an article at the end of the report. And those articles are always related to your child's gaming interests. And so they'll likely reflect the games that have been played or the apps that your child use, so that you're gaining useful, insightful, resourceful information that you can then use to continue and open lines of communication with your children. Just because there wasn't a threat, it's still important to have communication with your child about, what they love, which in this case is gaming. And so we provide those resources to help you, gain a bit of a better understanding, because I know that, sometimes it feels like our children are speaking a different language when they're talking about all their video games, not to mention that they switch from video game to video game so quickly that once we feel like we've mastered sort of the idea of one game, they've already, are switched off to the next. And it's like learning a new language all over again. So, we try to be leaders and helpful in that sense to provide that information.
Great. So this is the kind of report everybody dreams of getting, but then we also wanted to share what something might look like if action was needed, and what that kind of report would look like and the additional information you get there. So if you could walk through this one.
And so, sometimes you might see a single threat, like in this case where it says flaming, and it will let you know if your child was exposed to flaming or if your child was flaming other individuals within the game. And flaming is just for the viewers, excessive, above age level type of aggressive language that is used in gaming. And so, it's important to note that some flaming is appropriate within the gaming space. And this is also where the age factor really comes into play, because if you have two children engaging in the same type of communication, playing the same game, but one is 7 and one is 13, obviously the sort of age appropriate language and communication is going to be very different. And so we take all of that into consideration when creating your unique report based on your child's gaming habits. And so sometimes you might see in an orange alert, you might have, your orange alert that's flaming, and also a yellow alert that's worth noting, something that we also think that you should know. But your report will reflect the most, the highest threat.
Now, when you find there's a threat that has been detected, does the report or the software or anything let you know whether your child was on the receiving end or whether they were the one doing it?
Yeah,
with regard to flaming or bullying or asking for passwords versus giving out passwords and things like that. Does it tell you if you're the perp or the recipient?
Yeah. Exactly. So we are absolutely able to detect whether, it's inbound or outbound. So we're able to alert parents to say your child, was using trash talking this week, or your child was exposed to trash talking this week. So we do give you the insights into that, because like you say, there is a very big difference, within of the threat and with the communication and how you're going to talk to your child and handle that threat based on whether or not they were the receiver, or if they were the ones sort of threatening the other child or the other gamer.
That's good to know, because I would hate to be punishing my child if they were the one trash talking, only to find out, whoops, they were actually the victim here.
No, for sure.
As a parent, you're always the one like, oh, it's always my kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just, I think that it's also important to note, we hope that parents will use these reports in order to educate and, use the pieces of information of what happened and what should be happening and shouldn't be happening within the reports that are written to better engage with their children. And again, to help educate, to help move them. How can we stop this from happening next time? How did this happen? Did you realize it was, inappropriate? Because sometimes you'll find that your children are gaming and they hear things and then repeat them in the game without fully knowing the understanding. And so, I think that a lot of kids may be concerned about the software, for that reason, that they don't want to play and then feel that they're engaging in behavior that they're then going to be quote unquote punished for. The reports are written and meant to inform so that we can then educate. And, we all as parents, we're in this, new space where our parents didn't have to do this for us, but we need to educate our children and teach them how to be safe online, how to treat other people online, how to be respectful online, because all of these things are going to come up and they're going to be exposed. And it's not the same as walking around a playground and having a conversation that you're able to witness. A lot of the time, our kids are playing on their own computer with their headsets on, or in their room, or in another room outside that, as parents, it's harder to take that teachable moment in the moment that happens. But these reports really allow parents to understand what happened, take a deep breath, to figure out how they want to handle the situation with the support of the results or the reports, and then use that report to have a teachable moment with their child.
We had talked about how there are psychologists as members of the Kidas team. What is it they do or have done in the creation of the software, and what value do they offer to your subscribers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have psychologists and researchers on the team who have had years and years and years of experience working directly with parents and children, dealing with these exact issues, both online and in person. And so we have psychologists who specialize in, aggression within teens. And so they are able to help research the types of threats that happen online, the different interactions that may happen, like you say, either whether it's inbound or outbound, what that means, where it's coming from, and then are able to use their resources to write recommendations that are specific to the threats that are happening, that are going to be, hands-on, immediate use action for parents to implement within their home. And so, I think we all feel as parents, like, something happens and you think, oh, I wish I was like able to just call someone really quickly or get the answer on exactly how I should handle this situation. And that's sort of what this is. We alert you that the situation has happened, and then we don't just leave you there. We give you the resources to, tips on how to have this conversation with your child. These are the types of questions you should ask and how to have the conversation to, again, ensure that they're getting the most out of the conversation with their child. And so the psychologists and researchers really, put that into a package that they know how to speak directly, excuse me, to parents to ensure that they're getting the most information that they need when handling a difficult situation.
That's great. I think that adds a really great extra value and just provides, a way to break that barrier from, how to address those conversations that can be so difficult with kids of all ages. So let's tell our readers how to protect their children. They're going to visit kidas.net.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we offer a 30-day free trial for all subscribers. So we are in line with the COPA compliancy, which means that depending on the age of your child, we'll need to collect, certain information to ensure that you're the parent of that child and that we are protecting the child's privacy. And so you'll just go onto our website, you'll select if they're over or under 13 and then follow the necessary steps. It's very quick. It's almost much quicker than our installation process, which is already super quick. So you're just going to enter your email address, your name, your child's age, and then click submit. And then, like you saw, you will get a email with the serial number, and you'll get to try that for 30 days for free, which will allow you roughly 4 reports to be able to, truly experience the software and see, how it works and how you can best utilize it in your home.
All right. And I see on your Mainline Parent membership page that our Mainline Parent readers will also get a discount code. So if you are downloading the software and you're going to sign up for a subscription as a reader, you should visit our website and search Kidas and click on their directory page so that you can find that subscription code. And we will share that again when we reshare this video and the follow-up blog post. We want to thank everybody who has joined in for the live video chat. Thank you to Beth for joining me, so I wasn't here just repeating all the questions myself.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jenna, for being here with us today, for your partnership, and we really look forward to continuing to share the word about the ProtectMe software with our audience so that they can keep their kids safe online. Do anybody have anything else they wanted to add before we close out?
Nope.
All right, well, thanks everybody. This video will remain on our Facebook page, and we will also have an edited version on our website within the week.
Great. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.